So, okay, so this is our posterior chain class. All you need is your mat, your bottle of water. We're going to be working on the muscle groups up through the back of the body. So the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, the deep, deep core here, the transversus abdominis and the multifidus, our back extensors, and then our scapular retractors, and down through the backs of the arms. Okay, so the whole back line of the body we're going to be working on today, okay? We don't need any equipment, just our mat and our bottle of water, okay? So we're going to start in standing, as we often do. We'll start with our feet together. We're going to turn our feet out 10 to 2. Lift our heels up and bring them out. So we're standing with our feet in parallel, roughly a hip width apart. We're going to soften our knees a little bit. Try and have your knees slightly away from one another so they're not knocking in like so. And we'll pop our hands on our hips. We'll tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards. So as this is our first movement in the class, just go gently into it if you're feeling a little bit tight. All the way forwards and all the way backwards. Just freeing up the lower back and the junction between the lower back and the pelvis. Rocking your pelvis forwards and backwards like a rocking chair. Lovely. Let's do 3 more of these. And one more time. And then we're going to set our pelvis midway between fully forwards and fully backwards. That's our pelvis in neutral for us. Everyone's different, okay, as to where that would be. Then we're going to walk our hands up to our lower ribs. Okay. We're taking a nice breath in here through our nose. And out through our mouth. So we're directing the air into our hands, okay? Breathing in. And blowing out. The air is pushing our hands away from one another. Breathing in. And blowing out. Just bringing our hands around to the front here. Just feel where your ribs meet each other up in the middle. This is the zippy sternum, it's called, where the ribs come up into an upside down V and they hit the lower part of your breastbone here, okay? So we want to have that place in front, just over our belly button and our hips. So just try and have that alignment there so that when you're standing, you're not in sway back. Okay, we want to have that connection here down to the fronts of our hips here. Okay, we don't want to be like this. So we bring our shoulders and chest forward. See the difference? Big difference. And even aesthetically, I know cosmetics is not something I tend to think about it, tend to talk about it with Pilates. That's not why we're doing what we're doing. But say, for example, you were standing like this and you're kind of critical of yourself in an outfit. You're saying, oh my God, this Pilates isn't doing me any good at all. If you change the way you stand, you'll see the real you. Okay, you'll see the real you. So just think about that when you're getting ready to go out. You're thinking, oh, this isn't very glamorous or flattering or whatever else. Is it maybe the way you're standing? Actually can make a huge difference just to kind of click in with your posture and realign yourself, okay? So all that there, breastbone lifts up, shoulders down. So we're lifting the breastbone without losing that, okay? We don't lift the breastbone and lean backwards. Stay forwards in your upper body, keep the knees slightly soft, and without changing anything else, you're just lifting your chest, okay? All right, chin tucks in, neck is long. We'll give the back of our neck a little stretch out. So just try and lift the back of your head up towards the sky. And take another breath in, breathing in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Let's try and turn our palms forwards and back into where they were. Turn them forwards and back into where they were, and turn them forwards. And let's lift our arms back behind us. So just give the shoulder blades a little squeeze. And just back to in line with our body. And then backwards again, give the shoulder blades a little squeeze. Come forwards again. And one more time back. Give the shoulder blades a little squeeze. We're going to bring our hands towards one another behind our body. Let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Okay, relax the arms. From here, neck is lifted. We're side bending, ear to shoulder. And swap. Just keep your chin tucked in. That's the main thing here. Imagine that you're holding like a pencil in behind your chin. So you're really kind of tucking in with a bit of power. Ear to shoulder. Ear to shoulder. And one more time each way. Just breathing normally. Back to center. Chin tucks in. We're looking over our shoulder. The chin stays tucked in, but the chin is actually leading the movement. Lovely, last one. Coming back to center, and we'll finish with forwards and backwards. And forwards. And backwards. And one more time forwards. And one more time backwards. And just do a few little shoulder rolls. Lovely, and a big breath in. And blowing out, and we're going to bring our hands onto our hips. Lovely. Okay, so calves. We're going to start on the back line of the body now, okay? Calf muscles. So just check your feet are parallel to one another. We don't want to be doing our calf raises like this, okay? Or even with one foot turned out. So just line yourself up. Feet are parallel to each other and hip width apart. We're just going to do our usual calf raises, okay? Coming up and down onto our tiptoes. Our big toes. I'm just going to adjust the camera there a little bit. Just up and down, you know, we always think about our technique on this one. My right ankle always wants to flick out. So you may have one foot that wants to flick out. You may have both feet that want to flick out. You're trying to stay in towards the midline with this movement. So you're trying to keep your pressure on your two big toes. And that will keep your ankles tracking in their neutral position. Just building up a little bit of heat here in the calves. Okay, and now we're going to do 10 balance challenge, 10 quickie ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slow it down. We're going to keep going. The one thing we know we need in our calf muscles is endurance. Okay, and with good strong calf muscles, you'll have a lot less pain in your back. A lot less pain in your back. And your body in general, your knees, your hips, your lower back. Calves are really important, okay? So we'll do 10 more quick ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slow it down for one more set of both of those. Feeling the burn now. But we know that's okay. We're not doing ourselves any damage. We are strengthening our body. That's one of the ways where you could say, okay, yeah, no pain, no gain. Very safe. Feel this type of discomfort, okay? Your body will tell you if you can't do any more anyway, because the calf muscles will just stop working and you'll have to take a break. Okay, so we'll do 10 more quickie ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the heels down and we'll bend our knees. Oh my goodness. Back up again. So this is where we're keeping our knees away from each other. And this is where we're imagining that we're just sliding down the wall. Okay, we're just sliding our back down the wall. So imagine you've even a tray of drinks on your head. And so there's nothing happening there. All you're doing is just bending your knees and straightening your knees. By the end of that set, I have to say personally, I have a burn all the way up into my bum. Calf muscles, you can actually work on pretty much every day if you wanted to. But I normally advise 5 days a week. So if kind of something like Monday to Friday would suit you or whatever, then take a break at the weekend. But obviously, if you're doing your Zoom Pilates, you wouldn't be taking a break on the Saturday. So you could do 4 days during the week and then do your Zoom class. Okay, let's do 3 more of these. But you could, and it's absolutely brilliant. And especially, I suppose, as we all get a bit older, we can see degeneration in the Achilles tendons. Plantar fasciitis is really common as well, and knee issues. So I think it's actually quite a wise thing to do to work on your calf muscles every day, to be honest with you. So while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, while you're waiting for the toast to pop up or the microwave to ping, that's your chance to do little things like that for yourself, okay? If you can at all. That's the calves done. Well done. Okay, we're going to go up into the hamstrings and glutes. We're doing together, we're doing bridging exercises, okay? So if you want to take a little drink of water, we're going to lie down on our back and just keep working up through the back line of the body. Obviously, with those calves, you did experience a burn up through the hamstrings and the glutes. So you've already worked them. You've already got them started. Okay. And nothing to worry about here at all. This is our usual bridging sequence. You've done it before. It's just the way we're grouping them together today, but there's nothing that's kind of, you know, really different or new. Apart from we're going to talk about the deep core, which is an interesting thing to talk about, okay? So just to revise our Pilates positioning, we're lying on our back with our knees bent up and our feet flat. We really want to avoid this. You know that. Anyway, we're coming out here, okay? So our knees are at that 90-degree angle, okay? Little gap between the knees, little gap between the feet. So normally I kind of think, okay, hip width, same then to the knees, same then to the feet. And just like when we were standing up, you want to have your feet in parallel. Okay, you don't want to have your feet turned in or out or whatever. So we're 2 straight lines down through the body. Okay? We start with our hands on the floor, palms down. We're going into our posterior pelvic tilt. So we're flattening our back and relaxing. So let's just do a few of these, just like we did in standing, just to engage with our core and get the pelvis nice and freed up. And just to start switching on those core muscles before we go into the lift, okay? Lovely, well done. Okay. So the next time we do it now, we're going to flatten and really dig your feet into the floor. So push your feet into the floor, press your lower back flat and lift your bum in the air. Okay? So you really feel you're squeezing your bum muscles here. And then lower back down again. All right? We are going to flatten and lift. Lift up, 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 up. Feel the contact of the soles of your feet into the floor. Okay? flatten, squeeze the bum, and lift up, 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 up. Okay, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Try and keep the bum squeezed as we lower back down again. We're really connecting in with those glutes. Flatten and lift. Well, I've already taken my hands off the floor. That wasn't even planned, but as soon as you feel you don't need to have your hands on the floor, you can put them on your tummy. Maybe keep your elbows down for a few repetitions there. If you were doing this as a recording at home and you wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit, you could maybe for a few sessions you could put something in between your knees. You can have your football, you can have your cushion. Then for another few sessions, maybe you could put the mini band outside your knees. So either way, you're just adding in either the adductors or the abductors into it. But just for the purpose of today, we're just focusing on the straight kind of back line of the body. Okay. When you feel ready, then you can actually cross your hands across your chest all together. And just try and really take your time, just connect with these muscles, okay? We're in no hurry at all. We're more interested in the quality of the movement rather than saying, okay, well, we have to do 40 of these or 30 of these or whatever, okay? Now, in terms of the lower back, we're not arching our lower back, so that's why we flatten our back and we lift. But there's no situation where we'd be arching like that, okay? So just really flatten and lift. And you see there, my back is very flat. There's no pressure on my lower back at all, because I feel like I've still maintained that healthy tilt there, okay? Now what we can do is put our hands back down on the floor, flatten and lift, and we start adding in some variations here, okay? So we can do our toe taps. And just take your time. We're looking for mindfulness, we're looking for control, okay? We're not looking for hell for leather. We're not in any hurry. We're looking to keep the bum lifted. Keep that pelvic tilt going. And then while we have that there, we're looking to see, can we do something else as well? Now again, I've lifted my hand. You can kind of go into whatever hand position you feel, you know, that you're able to add in without losing any of those important things. So if you feel that you kind of need to have your hands on the floor, perfect. It's hard either way. And you can start feeling something like this. You can definitely start feeling it burning into the hamstrings. And lower back down again. Well done. So why are these exercises so important? Well, it's because the posterior chain of our body, we don't use it enough. So when we're sitting down, for example, we don't use our posterior chain at all. So the muscles in our spine and our bum, down back to our legs, are not being used enough. And I suppose with this day and age, we're sitting, I'd be sitting at an office, sitting in the car, you know, just a lot of leisure things that we do, going out to eat and movies and theatre and stuff like that, would be sitting as well. So it's really important just to switch on these muscles and keep them active, okay? Hands down definitely for this one. You know me well enough by now to know what we're going to do next, okay? We're flattening, we're lifting, and we're into our heel lift. So you know yourself, these are hard. Heel, 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 heel. These are hard, and it definitely burns into the hamstrings. But just see if you can keep it going for a little while. I won't say how many we're going to do or anything, we'll just do a little bit. Keep the bum lifted, keep the back quite flat, okay? Lovely. You could, if you want to, maybe see how you are with your hands. It's quite hard to let go of the floor, I think. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel the hammies talking to me a little bit now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Oh, little leg wobble there. Okay, let's give everything a little wiggle. So there are kind of small little variations that we can add in. They're quite hard. We can add in our bigger variations now. So again, just make sure you're in the right position, that I feel like I've actually kind of probably put my heels in a bit. Just try and get back to your 90 degrees, hands on the floor. Let's work on the pelvic tilt and the lift. And when we're in the lift, then we'll do our marching on the spot. So we're bringing our knee to our chest and back down again. Keep the bum lifted, okay? And swap. The slower you can do this, actually, the better, because it gives you a great idea as to how stable you are. And if you want to then play a little bit with taking your hands away, it's quite hard, okay? You're trying to, as you lift one foot in the air, you're trying to imagine you're balancing a tray of drinks across your tummy. So basically, as you lift one knee in the air, you're trying not to kind of droop on one side. You're trying to keep your two hip bones facing the ceiling. And that needs an awful lot of concentration and stability. Okay? So even if you did feel brave enough to take your hands off the floor, you could always have your hands on the front of your hips here. Okay? We'll do maybe one more pair. It's quite a tough exercise, isn't it? But really, really, really good. And rest back down again. Okay? Woo! Do you want to do a little bit of rolling? You could do a little bit, bring your knees together and just give yourself a little stretch out before we go any further. Okay, well done. Okay, so knees at 90 degrees, flattening, actually hands down, flattening and lifting. This is the big little variation, big little variations. The big variation, we're straightening out one knee. Okay, hold, and put it back down again, and swap. And just even notice yourself, is there one side that is a lot weaker than the other? Or a lot harder to do than the other? Again, you're trying to balance your tray of drinks across your pelvis here. Okay. Hands on the floor, elbows on the floor, no hands, whatever you feel. Just don't compromise your technique. Okay, let's swap one more time. And we're going to hold this and lower the bum to the floor and lift back up again. Okay? And lower and lift. And lower and lift. And lower and lift. Lovely. And lower. And let's lift up one more time. Swap leg. Stretch out. And lower and lift. Hands down, elbows or no hands, whatever you want. 3 more. 2. And 1. Well done. And lower down. Well done. Maybe come up into sitting there. Have a drink of water. Well done, everybody. We're just coming up now to talking about the deep core, okay? So from here, these muscles that wrap around the middle of our body will be our deep core. And we've got this abdominal muscle that wraps all the way around, called the transversus abdominis, transab, TA, people call it different things. It connects up north into our diaphragm. It connects down south into the pelvic floor. So it's basically our natural brace. That's the transverse abdominis. And then the multifidus then is the first cousin of the transverse abdominis. That's the little one, we have little pockets of them. Multifidus means many fibers. So the multifidus will run from one vertebra to the next vertebra. It'll run from one vertebra to the second vertebra down. It'll run from one vertebra to the third vertebra down. So you have all of these like layers and layers and layers of deep stabilizers in the spine. And they do a lot of things, but one of the things that they do is they are rotational stabilizers. So basically, how many people hurt themselves when they twist, they turn in bed, or they just turn to get something off the bedside locker or whatever, twisting injuries. So the multifidus protect us from those twisting injuries because they provide rotational stability to the vertebrae. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on both of those groups next. We're coming down onto hands and knees, okay? So we have our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips, okay? We're going to rock the pelvis forwards and backwards and find our mid position there. Remember to send your chest towards the floor as well, so you're not like this rounded. Chest forwards, shoulders down, chin tucks in. And all we're doing here for the deep tummy, I just want you to think about this. Can you let your tummy relax into the space here? Okay, so really let your belly button, without changing your position, try and let your belly button relax. And then from there, then you're going to pull your belly button without arching your back. It's not a cat stretch. You're going to pull your belly button towards your back. Pull your belly button up into your body. Just suck your belly button up without moving anything, if you know what I mean. Okay. And then relax your belly button again. Okay, so just check your position. You're in your neutral pelvis, chest out, shoulders down, chin tucked in. Relax your belly button. And then pull your belly button up towards your spine. You might notice, especially because most of you have been doing Pilates for a while, that as we pull our belly button in, a lot of other things start to kick in as well. So it kind of becomes a pelvic floor exercise, even though you haven't decided to do a pelvic floor exercise. And just let your belly button relax. So we're going to incorporate a little bit of breathing here. We're breathing in through our nose. And as we're blowing out through our mouth, we're going to draw our belly button towards our spine. If it becomes a pelvic floor exercise as well, that's grand. The muscles are just talking to one another. Particularly in this position, you might find that you're using the front part of your pelvic floor and just let it relax. Lovely. Breathing in, blowing out, using the out breath to draw your belly button up towards your spine and possibly into the front part of your pelvic floor as well. But if you're trying to stop yourself from passing water, holding there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let the belly button relax. Breathing in. Blowing out. And drawing the belly button up towards your spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let it relax. We're going to do 2 more. Breathing in. Blowing out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. And one more time, breathing in, blowing out, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Brilliant. The trans abdominis now is working. Hands, we're going to say everything the same position, okay? Pelvic neutral, chest out, chin tucked in. Multifidus, so the little pockets of muscles that are around the back of the body, okay? We're just going to start with our hands here. So all I'm going to do is push my right hand into the floor. I'm not actually moving, I'm just pushing my hand into the floor. And then I'm going to relax that and push my left hand into the floor. Okay? And my right hand and my left hand. Just push each one for maybe 4 or 5 seconds. There's no movement. We're not tilting or twisting or changing the body in any way. If somebody was looking at you doing it, well, you're looking at me doing it, you couldn't really see what I'm doing. But I'm just feeling that I'm pushing my hand into the floor. So the way I think about it is that just keep alternating there from side to side. It's like I'm just trying to make a dent in the floor, you know? I'm just trying to leave a dent in the floor that's shaped like my hand. So about 5 seconds each way. You can feel the benefits of this exercise, okay? Because we're putting a lot of weight through the arm. Just make sure your chest is out and your shoulders are down, your chin is tucked in. So you've got your good alignment here in the upper part of the body. We're going to speed it up now. So we're going to push and push and push and push. You're trying to keep the body stable so there's no actual movement in the body. Okay, push and push and push and push. And 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lovely. Okay, we're going to do the same with our knees. So the right knee pushes into the floor. 2 seconds, 5 seconds. Left knee pushes into the floor for 5 seconds. You're imagining you have a tray of drinks on your back. Okay, we don't want those drinks to spill. So we're not actually budging anything. We're just pushing without changing anything. We're pushing. About 5 seconds each side. It's a weird exercise, I'll give you that. Going to get weirder in a minute. But it's a muscle that it's good to activate. Okay, and really nice to add it into this particular session today. Okay, so now with the knees, we're going to push and push and push and push and swap 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 and swap. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so in you trying to do that and not move, if I was to cartoon this up, so say with my hands, if I push my right hand into the floor and not resist the movement, I'd end up doing this, wouldn't I? So you can see in trying to not move, you're activating your rotational stabilizers. Okay, that's how I think of it anyway. Okay, so we're going to take the right hand push now and the left knee. We're going to diagonalize it. So they're pushing in for about 5 seconds. Then we're going to swap. And then we're going to swap. So you do definitely feel your tummy working here as well. Especially if you maintain a good position in the body. So we're doing 5 seconds of one diagonal. And then 5 seconds of another diagonal. And just keep swapping. Trying to make a dent in the floor with your hand print and your knee print. Okay, now we're going to go quickly 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Try not to move the body. Just really think about this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just come up for air. Give the wrists a little rest. Well done. Good time to have a little sip of water, okay? The shoulders a little roll. Well done. Going to work up through the rest of the body now. Yeah, that's grand. So the rest of the body, we're going to do swimming and breaststroke. So we're lying on our back. Sorry, lying on our tummy now. As I said, we weren't really trying to get this to flow an awful lot today, choreographically. Yeah, okay. So we're going to put our hands under our forehead. Toes are relaxed and our feet are fairly close together. Swimming level 1. Posterior pelvic tilt again. We're going to tuck our tailbone in under. Okay. We're flattening our lower back. And with that lower back kept really, really flat, we're just going to lift our leg in the air and lower down. It's actually quite a tiny movement. Tiny for me anyway. Okay. Foot is pointed if you can. You know, I tend to get cramps, so you might have to work with that. We're just lifting and lowering. 2 big things I would think about here. So you're trying to keep your knee really straight. Because if you bend your knee, you're not actually using the bum. Okay? You're trying to keep your knee really, really straight. So really feel that you're stretching out through the back of your knee. Almost like somebody is down at your big toe, pulling your big toe away from you and making your knee, back of your knee really stretched. Second thing is you're trying to keep your lower back really, really flat. Okay? So just think about trying to keep your back like that. Like that. So you're flattening your lower back, probably pushing the front of your pelvis into the floor. The movement itself is actually quite small. If you want to take your hands out from under your forehead, you can actually put your hands on your glutes and feel what you're doing. But this is a gluteus maximus exercise. And interestingly, you might feel quite stronger on one side than the other. But just challenge yourself to see how high you can lift without losing that flatness in the lower back, okay? Now, level 2 swimming, this is kind of a bit of a bugbear for me, I have to say, because level 2 swimming, what you do is you actually are supposed to put your hands like this on the floor, and then you lift one hand and lift the other hand. But what bothers me about that is that when I'm looking at people doing it, is that the shoulders are coming up. You know, so people are lifting their hand and kind of hunching up the shoulder here. So what I tend to do, to be honest with you, if I have people actually in front of me, is I go around and I make sure that people are not doing that. And I notice that in most groups, people need to be more out in this T position and do the hand lifts there, and then maybe moving into a kind of a low V as they get a little bit stronger. So I think, just see, what do you think? Just be very aware of what's happening here. But I notice people don't tend to even know that they're doing it. So it's a bit tricky that way. I'll leave it in your capable hands, but just try and pick a position that is the safest, as in you're not going to damage anything, but you could be headachy afterwards if you weren't kind of careful of your position, you know. And certainly, you know, there's muscles there that are already working too hard, so you don't want to strengthen them even further. Or encourage them. You don't want to encourage them any further, okay? So I'm going out into a T. You can see what you want to do. Feet are as they were. Pelvis tucks under. Shoulders down. Chin in. And we're lifting up one hand and lowering down. And lifting up the other hand and lowering down. You really can pick up here if you're weak in the upper body on one side more than the other. Really try and press your shoulders down towards your armpits. And just like I said with the knees, like that, you're keeping the elbows really straight. Your arms are reaching out nice and long. We're lifting and lowering. So just do normal breathing here. And if you feel you've got a good handle on that, you could go up towards a kind of a V type thing, but just really keep your shoulders down into your armpits. Push your shoulder down towards your armpits before you do the lift. You'll have a good idea, I think, as to whether you ought to be in a position or not. We're going to do 4 more pairs. Three more. Two more. And one more. And then we're going to keep going. It's going to be one arm on the opposite leg. Hold it for a few seconds and lower back down again and swap. We blow out on the lift. Breathe in to come down. Shoulders down, blowing out to lift. Breathing in to come down. Blowing out to lift. Breathing in to come down. Really keep your lower back nice and flat. You've got the pelvis pushed forwards into the floor. Keep going, blowing out to lift. Breathing in to come back. Our elbows are straight. and so are our knees. So we know then the movement is going to come from those bigger, more central muscles in the spine and the bum. Blowing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Blowing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. One more pair. Last one. Lovely. And we're going to bring our hands down by our sides. Last little sequence here, breaststroke. We have our palms facing into our body, but not touching our legs. Okay, we're resting on our thumbs and our index finger. Everything is the same as it were for the swimming. Feet are close together, toes are pointed, tailbone tucked in under so our lower back is flat. Our chin is tucked in under as well. Okay, hands are facing in. We're going to just bring our shoulder blades together and relax them. We're doing 5 of these. 5. And relax. I would breathe in, like breathe out on the lift up. We're not lifting our hands now, we're just bringing our shoulder blades together. Breathing in to relax. 2 more. Okay, we're going to keep this going. Blowing out for bringing the shoulder blades together and hold it there. Lifting our hands just a bare inch off the floor. Reaching our fingers down towards our feet so our arms are really, really long. Breathing in here. Blowing out to lower back down again. Keeping our palms facing into our body. Breathing in to prepare. Blowing out to bring our shoulder blades together and to lift our hands just an inch off the floor and reach for our toes. Breathing in to stay here. And blowing out to lower back down again. Breathing in to prepare. Blowing out shoulder blades. Hand lift and reach. Keep your arms low and long. Breathing in to stay. And blowing out to lower back down again. Breathing in to prepare. Blowing out shoulder blades, hands and upper body. So keeping your chin tucked in, like you're holding that pencil. We're just going to lift our forehead away from the floor. Holding here. Breathing in. And blowing out to lower back down again. Breathing in to prepare. Blowing out, shoulder blades, hand lift, and lifting up. Holding here, breathing in. And blowing out to rest back down again. One more time like this, breathing in. Blowing out shoulder blades, hand lift, and forehead lift. Holding here. Let's do the full breaststroke here. So if you're not sure, just have a little look. Breathing in here. Blowing out, keeping my shoulders down. I'm going to bring my 2 arms out to the side. Shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. Holding here, breathing in. Blowing out, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. Keep pushing your shoulders down into your armpits. Breathing in here. And blowing out to come back down again. Okay, so just check your positioning, palms facing in, tailbone tucked under, chin tucked under, really important, shoulders down. Breathing in. Blowing out for shoulder blades, hand lift, forehead lift. Stay here, breathing in. Blowing out for the breaststroke. Keep your shoulders down as we travel slowly with our arms out to the sides. Bringing our hands together, staying off the floor, breathing in. And blowing out to come back down again, nice and slowly with control, keeping your shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, holding here, breathing in. Blowing out to lower back down again. We're going to do one more. Breathing in to prepare. Blowing out shoulder blades, hand lift, forehead lift. Keep your chin tucked in, holding here for a breath in, blowing out for a breaststroke. Breathing in here, blowing out to come back down. Breathing in here, blowing out to lower back down again. Well done. So we'll just pop our hands in under us. We're going to push up through onto our hunkers. Well done. Dropping our heels to the floor. We're going to hang over our legs. Chin to chest. If you've bone density issues, touch your knees. If not, you can let your muscles be your guide. Okay, breathing in here. Blowing out to peel ourselves up, keeping our chin on our chest and keeping our two knees straight. Again, this is a brilliant posterior chain exercise. Feel it on the back line of the body. We're fully upright. We'll lift our chin off our chest and roll our shoulders back. Well done. Well done. So hopefully you're feeling very upright now. Everything is working and all around the deep corslet as well. So let's just put the ball of our foot on the floor. We'll just do a little cool down movement. Particularly trying to free up the calves because we did actually a good bit of power work with those. Change direction. Well done, everybody. Change foot. Change direction. Lovely. Okay, let's bring our feet a little bit further apart. We'll just do a little hip hop from side to side. Let's keep that movement going. We'll do an arm raise. Breathing in. And blowing out. Breathing in. Blowing out. And one more time, breathing in. Blowing out. Lovely. And just a few little shoulder rolls here. Adding in the elbows. And adding in the arms. We're going to bring our hands behind our head. We're breathing in here and blowing out to stretch. Breathing in and blowing out to stretch to the other side. Breathing in here, blowing out to swap. Breathing in, blowing out to swap. Breathing in, blowing out to come back up to the center. Breathing in, blowing out to twist. Breathing in, blowing out to twist to the other side. Try and keep your two hips pointed forward so they're not going with you. Breathing in, blowing out to swap. Breathing in, blowing out to swap. Breathing in, blowing out to come back to center. Let's rest our hands on our thighs here, breathing in. Blowing out into chest and down we go. So we're just going down as far as our kneecaps. Holding here. Give everything a little stretch out. We worked the spine a lot today. Breathing in. Blowing out to stay. Chin to chest, breathing in. Blowing out to stay. Breathing in. Blowing out to come back up again. Keep your chin on your chest. Feeling up. Lovely. Well done. Bula ball. I'll just stop the recording there.